What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 22, returns now to the season finale, our final 3 games of the Premier League campaign, where, I mean, if you want to play devil's advocate, European football is still mathematically possible, but I can't say that without laughing, because we need to win all 3 of our remaining games, and the teams above us will need to lose theirs as well. Yeah, I can't see that happening. The top 10 is definitely doable, and that'll be my aim in the final 3 games as well, our first ever top 10 finish. So, first game, Chelsea at home. Tough one here, though. Come on, the Foxes. 6 to go before the break, still deadlocked at 0-0. As young Ghanaian turns the ex-Fox himself, Ben Chilwell. He is so quick. Oh, yes, come on. And so agile as well. It's frustrating I haven't got as much out of him as I would like, but he's one of those players who, he just shows that kind of brilliance on occasion, you know, but it needs to be more consistent for him to take the next level. I often talk about it, consistency, that's the key. Like, if you look at what separates the good players from the great players, oftentimes, it's just the ability to do that week in, week out, you know. Some players can look really, really good on one game and then go disappearing for like 3 or 4 weeks and then maybe get a goal again and then disappear for another month, and it's like, well, that's just not going to cut it. You know, if you want to take the next step, you got to do that game in, week out, week out, because at the biggest of clubs, if you want to move to one of the biggest of teams, you're going to be required to do that sometimes off the bench when you first arrive if you've not got that superstar kind of pedigree. So you need to be ready when the time comes. You can't go weeks without scoring at a top club and expect to stay there long term. Anyways, Leslie looks to turn Kieran Dewsbury Hall as the former Chelsea man beats the former Fox. Back to Stefan, and that's things stand. We've been really good defensively. So frustrating. How we not dropped those 2 points to Southampton in that last game? As Julio Cesar is denied by Carnesecchi. We'd still be within a shout. Don't get me wrong, it'd still be a very, very slim possibility, but that bottle against Southampton has cost us any chance now of being a European club for next season. I think is going to do it, just passing out the clock, and this defeat will end Chelsea's title aspirations, so top 4 is already locked up for them. But for us, I mean, you know, we will push until it's mathematically impossible. It is back-to-back wins against Chelsea, when before that FA Cup victory, we lost them every single time we faced them. So finally, we started to get a decent record against the bigger clubs, but a little too late, I'd say. Far too late. Yeah, it's still doable. I mean, it's still doable. 4-point gap with 2 games to go. But the problem is, it's not just Manchester United are in 7th. It's the teams below as well. Leeds, Brighton, Crystal Palace. You can't rule out West Ham 2 points behind us as well. Mathematically, they still do have the very slimmest of chances. Our final home game is Arsenal at home, though. They've got nothing to play for. They're really locked up a top 6 place. And as it is the final game of the King Power, I will play Jamie Vardy as well. We know he's announced he's going to leave Leicester in real life at the end of the season. I got this wrong. I thought he'd stay for another year or 2 when they're back in the Championship, but I will definitely give him the captain's armband and start with this one in the final game of the King Power. Let's be honest here, 7th is going to happen anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Corner for Leicester. Iwobi floats one in, and it's going to drop to Fatawu. And Vardy, oh, you know I want to get him a goal on that final day if possible. I don't think I'll play him in the game, but Portman Road, Jamie, oh, shot blocked, and Trent, now back in the Premier League with Arsenal, gets it away. Got to get him a goal in that second half. How a club and an organisation treats their star players, their legends, their long-serving employees, players, coaches, whatever else, definitely has an impact, not just on the fans' perception of how the club is run and is operational, but also on potential new recruits as well. If you're a new player, or you're thinking about joining a club, and you see the way they treat their stars as really positive, that's going to give you more of an incentive to go and join that club, but also stay with them, as Iwobi fires one wide, for the long term as well. We've got like a 0.1% chance of finishing in 7th place. Let's just be totally honest here. And even then, it may not be enough for European football, because Burnley and Swansea play in the FA Cup final, and both are, of course, outside the top 7 places in the Premier League. It would be better for us to show potential new recruits. This is how we treat our legends, man. We give them a good send-off. Oh, Vardy, just go down, bro. There was clear contact, and possibly get him a goal as well. 32 minutes to do that. Yep, look what's happened this season in the NBA with the Dallas Mavericks and the Luka Doncic fallout as well. That shows you the importance of treating your star players well, your long-serving employees, your legends, whatever it may be. Because if you don't, and if you throw them under the bus like the Mavericks did with Doncic, they won't just turn your own fan base against you, but turn off other players around the world from signing with you as well. We had a 0.1% chance of finishing in the top 7, and it might not have mattered anyway because of the FA Cup final clubs as well. Best thing to do, in my opinion, give the club legend a better send-off. No goal, unfortunately, no win for sure, and that's going to do it. Arsenal with the win, and any chance, and I mean literally any chance whatsoever, mathematically ends here. And Manchester United won anyway, so it literally would not have mattered. So, yeah, forget it. Final game of the season, though, is away. Ipswich Town, rock bottom, already relegated to Portman Road. Don't want to end the season on back-to-back losses, so let's bow out the season with a win, which should probably take us into the top 10 and our first top 10 finish at a save. Let's get it done here against Ipswich Town. And again, this is what we were planning to do anyway. Change our objectives midway through the season. Forget what the board was saying, you know, top 5. That just wasn't going to happen. Far too ambitious. But instead, go for a top 10 place. You know, I mentioned before that everyone should have big ambitions. I think everyone should want to do something really great with their lives, but ultimately you got to be realistic. That's the whole point of this save, and that's the key word: realistic. Top 5? This Leicester team? Definitely not. But top 10? Absolutely. Yeah, be ambitious, but be realistic. Life is not a video game after all. And I see the irony of what we're doing here. But that's the whole point of this save. It's a realistic career mode. And as I mentioned at the top of the save, you know, Leicester is the one team where you can't really use that word, because based on their trajectory over the past, well, 9 years, you know, from champions to now heading back to the championship, whilst also having played in the Champions League and also having an FA Cup. I mean, it's a bizarre trajectory they've been on. I mean, they say life is a roller coaster. This would be the wildest ride ever constructed, you know, with Leicester's current 10 seasons. But yeah, I think realistically, this is probably the best we could have done with this Foxes team this season, and we have done it. And we, oh yes, probably have done it now. This win should do it. I can't just finishing out the top 10 without winning this game. So yeah, that should probably do it now. Yeah, that's going to do it. 2-0 win on the final day. And a brilliant end to the season for the Foxes as well. Only 1 loss in our last 4 or 5 games, I think it was. And as I said at the start of the season, top 5, that was never going to happen. That was never my ambition. I wanted to get to the top 10 for the first time in the save, and I think we've probably done that now. So, back-to-back championships for Manchester City. Arsenal won it undefeated in Season 1, but Guardiola's side have reclaimed their throne twice in a row. Liverpool second, 2 points behind, with Spurs in third and Chelsea in fourth. Gunners in 5th place. It'll be interesting to see what teams go into Europe next season, but Newcastle and Manchester United probably will, but maybe only Newcastle and Arsenal because the FA Cup winners. Leeds, Palace and Leicester did indeed wrap up the top 10 for a leaving suspense there. That win on the final day does indeed see us leapfrog those teams and jump into the top 10 for the first time in the save. That was my ambition, and we got it done as the bottom 3 were Wolves, Fulham and Ipswich Town. And as for the individual stats this season, well, Nicholas Jackson was the player of the season this year for Chelsea, despite finishing runner-up to Erling Haaland, who won the Golden Boot. Gyökeres third, Isak fourth. Most of those goals came against us, with Vlahovic in 5th. And Foden won the assist title as well. So I'm surprised that Jackson pipped Haaland to the Player of the Season award in the end, as Ederson pipped Ramsdale by 2 clean sheets for the Golden Glove. And no Leicester players in the team of the season this year, unfortunately. As for some other competitions, well, in the Carabao Cup, Man City did indeed win a League and League Cup double, but as for the FA Cup, of course, we were knocked out in the semis, and it was the team that knocked out that went all the way to win it. Like I said, whoever won that semi between us and Aston Villa would win the FA Cup, and it was Emirates' side. And as for the Championship, well, Bournemouth won it, and Watford are back in the big time, and the playoffs will be the Blades, Stoke, Sunderland, and Coventry City for a right to play in the Premier League next season. And as for the European competitions, well, the plot thickens. I've got no idea how many English teams will be in Europe next season. It's going to be a lot, because West Ham will be there after beating Valencia by 2-1 to win their 2nd Conference League in history. And the English sides continue to impress in Europe, with Chelsea winning the Europa League, beating Fiorentina by 3-2. They already finished top 4 though, so they already had Champions League locked up. And as for the Champions League this season, well, there were no English sides in the Final 4, and it was a Barcelona-Juve final, and Barca ran out winners by 3-2 to win this year's Champions League. And as we take one final look at the Leicester team at the end of Season 3, well, there's a big question to ask as we close out our 3rd year at the King Power, dragging the Foxes into the top 10 for the first time in a save, and that is this. Is it time to leave? Now, I didn't want to leave Leicester until we'd either got them a major honour or got them into Europe, but that is so hard to do. Either of those things in the Premier League, as we know, without a massive budget, and we, of course, haven't been working with those since these saves began. But to get Leicester into the top 10, that was always my kind of like minimum expectation. I had to turn Leicester from a, relegation threatened side to a Premier League staple, and we've definitely done that here. This team is too good to go down now, I would say. We're a 4.5-star team. We've got some great young talent, brilliant players in the academy, of course, as we know. Yes, we're going to lose Calvin Bassey in the summer, but with the fee we'll get, plus the money in the summer budget, we assume, we'd have enough money to replace him with another really good centre-half. Is it time to leave? Is it time to say goodbye? It's a difficult one because I'm really enjoying the project here. We've done really well. We've built this side really well, and most crucially as well, realistically, we've improved it gradually, but nothing too far-fetched, if you will. Susak, by the way. Oh my goodness gracious me. Listen, if we do leave, I'm bringing this guy with me, no doubt about it. But yeah, is it time to say goodbye? It is a tough one, man, because there'll be tons and tons of offers, and let's be honest here, for what we've done with the Foxes in these 3 years, working with a really poor team, turning them now into a Premier League staple and a top 10 side, I think there will be some clubs definitely hovering around, picking up the phone, asking the chairman how much would it cost to get Doxy Boy away from the King Power. It's a difficult one. It's a really tough one. By the way, Vardy, if you didn't see it this year, my oldest goal scorer ever now, new career mode, first for me. First ever player I had 40 years old scoring a goal. But yeah, I've really enjoyed the project. It's been really, really fun. But realistically, in this time frame, have we taken Leicester as far as we could go? Could we maybe sneak them into Europe? Possibly. Could we maybe win them a major honour? Possibly. But realistically, we haven't done a lot wrong. Is it time to say goodbye? For those curious on what teams would be available, well, there would be a lot of them. Absolutely loads of teams we could take over. As we know, the job offers, they very rarely get given to you. You might only get one job offer per save, but in the browse job section, practically every team in your division is available, and also some star teams in other nations as well. But there's some really cool nations we could join here. Like, let's be honest here, realistically, Guardiola wouldn't be sacked by Man City based on what they've done in the save. I think there's a few clubs here that probably wouldn't take me on, but there's a lot that clearly would for sure. And I would say of all the opportunities, and a couple of clubs that would be looking, especially Aston Villa for a new manager based on their seasons. Aston Villa, Newcastle, possibly Chelsea based on what they've done over the past few years. Definitely consider Arsenal as well with 5th place finish. Everton only just staying up. There'll be a lot of teams that we could possibly move to. Again, probably not Man City, but I don't know, man. I'm very interested in a few of these, and I'll have to give it some serious consideration. Thank you for watching the season, though, and the save as a whole, guys. Much love to you all. Regardless of what we do, as I always say, I do want you to know I don't always get things right, but I promise you from my heart, I always try to, and I will do my best over the summer to either pick a new team or decide to stay at Leicester for what I think fits the save the best, fits my manager's growth the best, and fits the realistic aspect, most importantly, the best as well. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for supporting Season 3 and the save as a whole. Much love to you all, and I'll see you for a brand new season very soon.